Hi, this is Rosanna from PrepScholar. Today, I'm going to answer what's maybe the most common question for English learners. How do I improve my vocabulary in English? That's a great question, and we're going to give you some advice on that today. Before we begin, remember, if you're listening to this video, you already know lots of English. You're better at English than most people in the world, so give yourself a pat on the back. By the way, if you don't know, that's an idiom, meaning to congratulate yourself. So give yourself a pat on the back or congratulate yourself. Of course, there are lots of English words you don't know. Here's one. Reticulate. What does that mean? It means to divide something up in the pattern of a net or a network. If you don't know that word, don't worry. Very few native English speakers know it either. English is a vast language, and no one really knows every part of it. So the first thing to remember is that you know a little bit of English, but don't know everything in English, just like everyone else. The second thing to remember is that learning English vocabulary takes hard work. Let me say that again. Hard work. Sorry, but there's no shortcut to having a big English vocabulary. To learn English well, as you already know, you need to study. So we're not going to give you shortcuts to learning English vocabulary. What we will give you are tips on how to study more effectively, to work smart, as well as working hard. Okay, now I will give you 5 ways to do that. Number 1, make flashcards. One of the most popular ways to learn English vocabulary is to use flashcards. Each flashcard will have one English word written on the front and the word's translation or definition on the back. Flashcards are excellent resources because they help you memorize vocabulary words both quickly and effectively. They're also customizable and reusable. Both paper and digital cards are available, and you can make your own cards, buy a pre-made deck, or download a deck online. Number 2, use an English-to-English dictionary. Flashcards let you memorize words by matching them with translations in your own language. But we also recommend studying the definitions of words in English. That is, if you encounter a word you don't know, try looking up its definition in English. Now, this is really hard at first, and most students don't want to do it. If you hear an English word you don't know, you will want to look it up in your native language. But always looking up the definitions of words in English is actually one of the best ways to improve your vocabulary. Why? Well, when you look up the definition of a word in English, you encounter more English words in the definition. If you don't know these words, you can look them up. So you're learning a new word and building up the rest of your English vocabulary. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. By the way, that's another idiom. It means accomplish 2 goals with 1 act. Number 3, vocabulary quizzes. If you're tired of the flashcards and dictionaries, vocabulary quizzes are a great way to test what you've learned and ensure you truly understand the meanings of English words. Many English word quizzes are available for free. While some are traditional tests, others are more game-like. For example, you might find a matching game in which you have to match English words with their meanings, also in English. In fact, we've created a vocabulary quiz in another one of our PrepScholar videos. It's our TOEFL vocabulary quiz. Go ahead and search for it after you're done with this video. Number 4, be a word collector. We've been talking about ways of studying, but most of the time we're not actually studying English while you're at work or with your friends or studying other subjects at school. Still, this is a time to be building your vocabulary. If you're in an English-speaking country, you're constantly surrounded by English, And even if you're not, you're probably seeing English on television, in advertisements, and all around you. So pay attention and collect words you don't know. What do I mean by saying collect words? Carry a notebook with you, and whenever you hear or see a word you don't know, write it down. If you don't want to carry a notebook, you can just type the word on your phone. Then, when you have some time to yourself, you can sit down and study the words you've collected, make them into flashcards, or look them up on your English to English dictionary. Number 5, use your words. There is an English expression, use it or lose it. That means if you don't actually use what you've got, eventually it will get old and you won't be able to use it anymore. New vocabulary is exactly like that. Use it or lose it. If you're just writing down lots of words and memorizing them, that's not enough to improve your English. You actually need to use these words yourself to make them yours. So, make yourself a promise. Every day, no matter what, you'll use one new English word, an English word that you've never used before. If you're around other English speakers, use it in conversation. If not, just say it to yourself. Will you run out of English words? Nope. There are over 100,000 words in English. In fact, you can say a completely new word every day for about 470 years. At PrepScholar, we really want to help students learn the English vocabulary that they need for the TOEFL. So, we've created a free master guide to TOEFL vocab. It's the place to start if you're studying for the TOEFL. Get it for free now at this link. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to get the next lesson from PrepScholar.